Hey everybody, Questwise here, coming at you live from the heart of northern Michigan, inside Questwise Studios. I have an unboxing for you today, and I am really excited about this. I hope you're going to be excited about it too. This is a this is a brand new game, but it's also a big part of nostalgia for me because, I'm in my mid 40s, okay, upper 40s. And so this really tickles my nostalgic bone. And I'm super excited to have this in my hands finally. It was a Kickstarter game that I missed out on. The Kickstarter is finally hit retail. So the box that we're going to be opening today is the retail box, which I believe is exactly the same as what you got in Kickstarter, only in the Kickstarter you got a lot more other products sort of alongside this as well. I'm also, it's a game, a board game, kind of strategy miniatures board game. Let's call it that. I'm going to be running it, doing demos and exhibition games at Cherry Capital Comic-Con Memorial Day weekend here in Traverse City, Michigan. So if you're in the area and you want to stop by and you want to see this thing in action, or hell, if you just want to come by and, chat some nerdy stuff with me, please do. This is a great event. I've been involved with it since the very beginning, and it is one of my favorite things to do every year. The game we're going to be talking about today is this big old beast of a box. The Masters of the Universe board game, Clash for Eternia. This thing is big. There's a lot of stuff packed in here. I've always been a huge fan of things from the 80s. So Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, G.I. Joe. I love all that stuff. I love collecting it. I love playing in the worlds of these properties. And this is no different. I did a lot of research because I was really kind of wary after I realized I had missed the Kickstarter. I was kind of wary that maybe this game would suck. I've run into that before. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and there have been a lot of turds in Star Wars games over the years. So I did a lot of watching of unboxings. There are some out there, people who got the Kickstarter stuff. As far as I know, I might be the only one the first one who's done the actual retail copy unboxing. And I just I was unsure of, I watched some actual plays. It's awesome. It really, really is. It is put up by CMON, or previously known as Cool Mini or Not. If you are into board games at all, or tactical miniature board games as I like to call them, you'll know things like Zombicide and Zombicide Green Horde and Black Plague, and there's a brand new one coming out called, I think, White Knight or Winter Knight as well. So they have a great background of game design behind them. And when we open this, and all of them is really taken off the plastic off of this, but from having seen, the back of the box and some of the items that they show that you get inside this box, if you have played Zombicide before, you'll see some stuff in here that's fairly similar, but again, very different in that aspect as well too. So follow me over down, we'll hit down the table, we'll crack this baby open. I'll show you everything you're going to get in the retail copy of Masters of the Universe, the board game Clash for Eternia. Okay, here we are down at the painting table, and this might be kind of a weird angle for the camera, but it's such a big box. I have to do it at such a kind of a weird positioning of the camera to try to get at least most of this in. So first thing you're going to notice is that the artwork on the box is phenomenal, just gorgeous, really well done. There's even, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but these little trim lines along the edge are actually kind of glossy, stand out from the rest of the game. So first thing you're going to see when you open the box, you got your little freebies, pamphlets, you got the rule book. Now this game is a scenario driven game, so you have the rule book included in here for all the rules you need, but you also have the scenarios book, which has I think there's 12 different scenarios in this one. Quite a few. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Looks like to be about 19 or 20 different scenarios. The cool thing about this game, like a lot of the other CMON games out there, this can be played from 1 to 5 players. So you can play it solo, and there are several missions in here that are denoted as AI, which means that those are solo missions that you can play by yourself. There's also some expansions out. I plan on getting a few of those as well, and when I do, I'll do some unboxing. Some of the expansions are just scenarios, extra scenarios. In particular, there's one called the Attack on Castle Grayskull, and then there are some expansions that have hit retail already that are just more miniatures. So you're going to get more miniatures, more cards, more characters, that kind of stuff. And I believe there'll probably be plenty more on the way. But this shows you exactly how to set up each and every scenario, the special rules behind it, victory conditions for both sides, and then the layout of the map. And I'll show you what the map looks like here in a minute. It's kind of genius the way they've done this. So you get a board that folds out. Very nice construction on this board, like every other CMON game. I'm not going to lay out the whole thing because I just don't have space on the camera. But these are big hexes. I would say probably 1.5 inches, maybe. Even though the miniatures, you'll see when we pull them out here in a minute, actually have round bases, so the facing of hexes really doesn't matter anything. This is usually just used for movement on the tabletop, and the whole thing is sort of just these. The artwork on them is beautiful, but the whole board is this sort of blank hexes with some details and texturing to them. Then you get some tokens. There are lots of tokens in this game, which, you know, I'm okay with. These tokens are for a lot of different things. So these are the characters that you're going to get in the box. And you're actually going to use this on the tracker to denote their health. That's what these tokens are for. Some spawn point tokens, and then some other tokens along the edge here, which are for different scenarios. They are double-sided. Beautifully, nice thick cardboard. So they're not going to get damaged very easily. Inside here, you're going to see I believe this is called like the control board or the AI board, the controller board. So this lays out. You're going to have smaller cards that you're going to put up here. It's sort of a random thing. If you've played the Conan board game, you'll be familiar with this aspect. We're going to lay cards face down, and they alternate between controller, which is the sort of the game, and then the player, who's ever playing the game. And then you randomly, sorry, not randomly, but every turn, you're going to flip the next one over, and it'll denote who gets to take an action that turn. This is the health point tracker here. So if your character has, say you're playing Merman, and he has 8 health, you're going to put his token here, and every time he takes damage, you'll move down to the point where he gets KO'd. Then you're going to have a plastic insert. This is one of the great things I love about CMON games, is that their boxes are packed meticulously well. Get rid of this thing over here. Next is going to be a bag with some, I think there's 3 pieces of cardboard in here. Two pieces of cardboard with the terrain hexes. So I don't know how well this is coming through on the camera, but the detailing on these are just stellar, just beautiful. Again, double-sided, full color, beautiful. Like these plants, that's so cool. The detail and the artwork on this is just phenomenal. Next, you're going to get this is the controller board. Really cool, really well detailed. I like it a lot. It's got some stonework kind of engraved into it. It's hard plastic. You'll lay your sort of activation cards and other things in here, tactics cards and whatnot. And then they have these little squares because you are gaining. This game is a lot about sort of strategy as well as resource management. So you're going to be gathering energy cubes throughout the game, and you'll either place them on your player board, which is what these are, or these is for the controller, for the bad guys in the scenario, and they're sort of inset little ridges so the cubes stay in there. This is going to be your player board. Your player card's going to go here with all your rules on it, your energy track for the special abilities they have on their main card, and then as you upgrade throughout the different scenario, throughout each scenario, you're going to gain You're going to go up in levels, which is pretty common if you think of like Zombicide, where you're gaining experience throughout the scenario. It will unlock different skills that you can add power to use as well. So you're going to get, I think there's 4 of the player boards, 1 of the controller boards. So there's 1, 2, 3, yeah, there's 4. So you can play up to 4 players maximum, and then the controller is the 5th, or like I said, you can play it solo, and I love that aspect. Below that, you got a bunch of cards, another really nice plastic insert that is hollowed out so that you can fit all your cards in here once they're unpacked. These are your character cards. They are double-sided as well. Here's He-Man. Sorry if you can't see that very well. The lighting in here is set up for painting, not so much for filming. I need to fix that. So you have He-Man here. He has 10 health. You can see up here in the corner this little heart. His special abilities. He has a sort of power attack, which costs 2 energy. He has a skill, I have the power, which gives him the ability to heal himself 2 points of health when he uses 2 energy to activate that. There's a card in here for every character. And some of the upgraded characters as well too. And I'll show you this because it's really cool. So on the very back, one of the upgrades you can get is He-Man on Battle Cat. Yeah, that's right. There's a miniature for it. It's pretty sweet. These are going to be your terrain cards, the rules for terrain for each different type thing. There's also some player aids, and I believe there's also tactic cards in here as well. And you're going to get a pack of smaller cards, pretty substantial stack here. These are the power system controller cards, as well as the skill cards that you can unlock. So, again, light, sorry. So here's some of the skills. Tactical reposition is what this one's called, that you can gain throughout each scenario for each different character. That's also the other thing that's really cool is every character is unique in this game, so they all have their own deck of I would say deck. They only have their own little stack of cards of things that only they can unlock. And it's different for each character, which I appreciate. Makes every character feel a little different. Little baggie full of your power cubes. Little gold cubes, I think there's like 50 in here that go in those little squares. You're going to set dice that are proprietary dice. They're not numbered. They have symbols on them. So you have melee damage, you have range damage, and I think that, oh yeah, there's a gray skull. Sorry, not in frame at all. Gray skull symbol, which is, I believe, like a critical hit as well. So then this little plastic insert, and then this is probably what you've been wanting to see. These are the miniatures. So it comes with in a box, inside of a box, with little silhouettes of what's in the top tray. And if you flip it over, little silhouettes of what's in the bottom tray. Cool. Let's crack it open and I'll show you the minis. So very excited about this game. I'm excited about playing it solo. I'm excited about sharing it with others. My theme this year for Cherry Capital Comic Con is bridging the gap, and that is going to be bridging the gap between people who love comics and people who love games, and showing them that everybody can get along and enjoy both worlds. So here are the minis, and I want to show you something really cool about these in a minute. But so you got your minions. This is your tray of minions basically. So you have elite minions, you have regular minions, and then you have 2 different styles of your regular minions as well. Again, lighting, I'm so sorry. This is like the first time I've actually filmed an unboxing in the studio. And like I said, the lighting is set up for painting, not for filming. So the detail on these things is amazing. Really, really, really well done. Just beautiful. Really just gorgeous. Lots of detail. I'm going to paint these all up. Hopefully have that done by Memorial Day weekend. Actually, I'm forcing myself to have these things done. The second tray are the characters. Here we have He-Man. Sort of power raised above his head. And here's the cool thing I wanted to show you. So a few months back, I bought some miniatures from Etsy that were Masters of the Universe influenced. Of course, they can't use that name because, you know, copyrights and stuff. But they kind of scratched off the thing, and I got a bunch of them. And I was hoping that these were the same size, as the ones I ordered, because the ones I ordered were 28 millimeter. I was afraid that maybe these ones would be a little bit smaller, but they're not. So let me show you. So this is the figure I bought from Etsy. Some light on it, hopefully. This is, you know, I think they call them Hidar or something, all painted up. What's really cool, they're exactly the same size. The same scale, perfectly the same scale. Really well done. This one might have a little bit more muscle tone than this one does, but very, very, very close. The only thing is that these have larger bases. They're probably 28 and a half or maybe 32s. I put these on 25s, so I'm going to fix that by taking these off and adding them to bigger bases so that they look like just alternate sculpts of the ones you get in the box. So I got some really cool ones in there. So you're going to get He-Man, you're going to get Skeletor, you're going to get Beastman. Beastman is really cool. He's big. He's a big figure. Big miniature. Really, really cool. You're going to get Trapjaw. You're going to get Evil Lyn. You're going to get Triclops. You're going to get Merman, which is not my favorite sculpt of Merman. This is definitely influenced by the original toy line. I'm working on painting up a Merman right now from Etsy, which I like the sculpt on a lot better. For heroes, you're going to get Ram Man, you're going to get Orko, you're going to get Tila, you're going to get Stratos. Stratos is one of my favorites. Very, very cool. The wings, he's got rockets boosting him off the ground there. And you're going to get Man at Arms. And then you're going to get He-Man mounted on Battle Cat. Really, really cool. Just lovely. And then you're also going to get Skeletor on Panther. Again, beautiful, beautiful sculpts. Can't wait to get these all painted up. And these are, the mounted versions are ones that you actually unlock through skills in the game. But that's everything you're going to get in the box. Pretty substantial for the price point. I'm really excited about getting this to a table and sharing it with people, sharing it with myself, running through the scenarios. Possibly once I get a really good handle on the game and how the scenarios work, I will also probably try to write some of my own scenarios. And like I said, once I sort of branch out and buy some of the expansion boxes, I'll share the unboxings of those too and show you some of the scenarios involved in those, as well as the miniatures you're going to get to support those scenarios. So yeah, Masters of the Universe, Clash for Eternia, the board game. Like I said, this is the retail version of the game. Go and check it out. If you're a big fan of sort of classic cartoons and comic books like I am, I think you're going to really love this. It has a lot of flavor that fits the Masters of the Universe theme. Until next time, I am Questwise. My friends, stay safe out there. And as always, game on.